is good, good people? You are now listening to another episode of Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth. And once again, we're joined by an extremely special guest. I'm going to be full disclosure. The last time he was on here, this was my absolute favorite episode of any podcast that I've ever done. And his story is so awesome. We had to have him back. So, ladies and gentlemen, HVAC extraordinaire, American success story, the one, the only, Duval's own, Joseph Johnson in the building. Duval.
Okay, you already
bro?
know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Man, it's great to be back, man. Great to be back in connection with you, man. But I was a hell of an intro, man. Golly. Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. You already know, man. Duval County in the building. And yeah, man, life is great, bro. Life is great, man. So how about you? How you doing?
Hey, all good over here, man. Low key, you've really been putting the battery in my back too. So we it's just iron sharpening iron, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that, bro. I appreciate that.
So the reason why I brought you back on is just to basically catch up on what happened since you were last on this podcast. So, looking at your IG, you've been going to different prisons and different correctional facilities and sharing the HVAC world, the world of the HVAC trade with fellow inmates. So how'd you get into doing that?
Oh man. So that kind of just came from me wanting to just pay it forward. That kind of just came from me wanting to pass on the information and the game that has helped me change the trajectory of my life. Right. So I put together the book HVAC Guide. That was kind of the first step, right? So I kind of just came up with the same information that I was applying on a day-to-day basis, right? Basically, learning how to, or teaching, I should say, how to take out a condemned air conditioning system and gas furnace and install a new one, right? And I basically was, in my day-to-day life, I was already teaching other guys this information, right? I have a helper with me who may not necessarily know the ins and outs, may not necessarily understand how to take out an old system and put in a new system. So I have to teach this guy, on site, like on job training. So, oh, my bad. So essentially, I was like, well, you know what? How about I just document the process, right? How about I just write this information down and turn it into a book? So it kind of started from there. And then after I put together the book, that kind of opened up more opportunities for me to go into correctional facilities and actually break down what it is I had put in the book. So the first guy is a good friend of mine now, right? The Clean Team. You can see I'm even referring the brand right now, right? The Clean Team.
There you
right?
go.
I ended up connecting with this gentleman, Antonio Smith, out in Ohio. He was the first one who brought me out to speak with some of his guys at 4 facilities out in Ohio. Came out and, just kind of told these guys my story, told them about how HVAC changed the whole trajectory of my life. And just so happened, I turned out to kind of be a natural, right? So, man, now, or from that point, shoot, sorry about that, bro. The phone keeps falling. But from that point, man, I went from speaking in these correctional facilities out in Ohio to having the opportunity to speak at some correctional facilities in Colorado, and then a few more in Florida. And yeah, man, it kind of just opened up from there. And now, that's kind of what I do. I'm actually out in Ohio right now, speaking at correctional facilities and even teaching 3 days a week in one of the facilities. So
Really?
it's yeah, man, it's really it went from something small to something big, pretty quickly. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started in it, man. And I'm loving it.
Wow. So what's been the reception like amongst the inmates?
Oh man, it's been great. It's been great. You know, they really resonate with my approach. They resonate with my story. They resonate with, you know, my lingo, right? Because, you know, I go in there with these guys, man, you know, it's just natural for me to talk, right? So once I get to once I get to communicating in a way that they really resonate with, it's just like an automatic, man. They take to it, and then it makes it easier for me to kind of disseminate the information. You know, it makes it easier for me to be able to just, uh, you know, bring these guys in and teach them, you know, the basic HVAC skills.
Man, and then when you see them trying their hand at performing specific tasks that you taught them, and then they take the hands-on approach while you're watching them, I imagine that has to make you feel good seeing that they're implementing the methods in which you showed them how to correctly repair the HVAC machines.
Bro, I can't even tell you, man, how it makes me feel to see these guys putting in the effort, right? To see them guys like taking in the information that I'm teaching and then actually applying it and even implementing it into their blueprint and their game plan for when they come home. It's like, you know, I can see my impact in action, like in real time. And it's, yeah, man, it's an amazing feeling, bro. It's something that I could have never planned for. It's something I could have never envisioned for myself, which is how I know, man, it's something bigger than me at play, you know, because I could have never even dreamed of, even thought of, come up with this plan that this is what I would be doing now. So, yeah, man, it's you know, to see these guys implementing, you know, what it is I'm teaching in real time, it's just confirmation to me that I'm doing, you know, God's work.
There it is. And so you have other dates locked up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do. I do. As far as teaching, right now I have a contract out here in Ohio. Started out with just 1 month, and now that's been extended to 3 months. Right. So I'm implementing that, and then I also have some contracts in Colorado as well to teach guys a couple days a week for a few months out there in Colorado. You know, guys are in reentry programs. So, yeah, man, I have a couple dates. I'm starting to get booked more and more and more. And it's I had no clue that this was even a thing. I didn't even know that there was a lane for this,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, man, I'm starting to my services are being requested more and more.
Man, and that's a testament to your hard work and your knowledge and
Yeah.
your application of that knowledge as well, man. I tell you, when you acquire the knowledge and then you apply it, man, there's the sky's the limit to how far you can take it, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
man. No, I always said it. It's funny you say that because one of the talking points or one of the points I always emphasize when I go to some of these facilities and I'm talking to guys, one of the things I always like highlight, right, is knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power, right? It's a huge deal, man. That's a big difference. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely ditto to what you just said.
Yeah. I mean, you can have somebody either bring you fish or you can have somebody say, "Can you teach me how to fish?" And
Yep.
then it's off to the races after that.
Yeah, I say the same thing, bro. I tell guys all the time, bro, you can have the knowledge of how to build a house and still be homeless. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
you can know how to build a house, but if you don't actually apply the knowledge, bro, you can be living up under a bridge.
yeah, that's
For
true.
sure.
So also, I peeped since the last time you were on the podcast, you and the lady y'all been stamping y'all been putting some stamps in the passport, man, and doing some traveling,
Ah,
man. So let's talk about you work hard, but you also have to also have the balance of enjoying the fruits of your labor. So man, let's talk about the good times you've been having traveling.
oh yeah, man. You know, that's my thing, you know. So actually while I was incarcerated, man, I remember having this thought. I was like, damn, man, I haven't did anything, bro. Like I haven't been anywhere. I haven't seen anything in life. Right. I remember having this thought, like, man, I never saw snow. I never saw a mountain. I never saw a kangaroo, right? I never saw a bunch of stuff. So I knew once I had the opportunity that one thing that was definitely on my to-do list was to travel, right? So yeah, man, that's just, one of my pastimes. That's something that I really like to do, right? I like to move around. I always say, man, I'm from Duval County, that's my home, but man, the earth is my turf, right? So I like to get around. I've been to Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been to Philly, been to all over Colorado, Ohio, Las Vegas, New Mexico, just Panama. Went out the country to Panama, right? Spent 2 weeks out there. Um, uh, Atlanta a couple times, right? All over Florida, Miami. I mean, it's definitely one of my things, bro. I like to travel for sure.
So how was Panama?
Oh man, I can't even, bro. Man, we spent 2 weeks, 2 weeks in a mansion out in the mountains, man. It was beautiful, bro. Had a private chef, right? Cook us food every day, right? Cook us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Um, uh, it was, it was crazy. It was our first time being in a country that English wasn't the first language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, being that the predominant language is Spanish, we had to adapt. You know what I mean? So I realized that I started speaking Spanish. I started picking it up quick, bro, like quick. I already had a little bit of Spanish. Excuse me. I already had a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Spanish in my lingo, but being surrounded by nothing but, Spanish speaking cultures, I had to, adapt and start picking it up quickly. And now it's my belief that if I were to stay out in a Spanish speaking country for probably about 2 months straight, I think I'd be pretty fluent at it. But beyond that, man, like I said, we were out, we had a mansion in the mountains, bro, and it was animals all around, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, it was monkeys that I thought were gonna jump in the hot tub with me, right? Bro, it was man, it was a hell of an experience, man. And I'm extremely grateful for it. And yeah, I look forward to doing some more traveling, man. So absolutely. Panama, definitely give it 2 thumbs up. Right. The only small little drawback was it made me realize some of the luxuries that we take for granted in America, right? It made me realize, I was like, man, it was a lot of trash on the streets, right? And I was thinking like, damn, man, like, why is it so, so trash, so much trash? And they just don't have a great like waste management system in place. And that's something we just take for granted in America, right? We're just so prone to having garbage trucks come by and pick up the trash, once a week, right? Not understanding that is a legitimate luxury. So yeah, man, it was beautiful, bro, beautiful, man. Caught a flight from one side of the country to the other while we was over there, right? Went through, man, and saw like these beautiful waterfalls. It was amazing, man. So yeah, definitely, Panama definitely get 2 thumbs up.
So where was it where you went jumping off the cliff into the water?
Jumping off the cliff oh man, so that was actually in Colorado. That was in Colorado and St. Mary's Glacier, right? St. Mary's Glacier. And this young lady, Tiffany, I hope she hears this so she can know I gave her a shout out, right? This young lady, Tiffany, who works at one of the supply houses, one of the HVAC supply houses, right? She just heard my accent and she was like, hey, where are you from? I was like, oh, I'm from Florida. She was from Florida too. So we kind of just start talking a little bit, start hitting it off. She's like, well, I've been out here in Colorado for some years and I'm going to email you a list of places to go to really experience it because the locals, they just take this stuff for granted. They don't even really care about this stuff. But us coming from out of town, coming from Florida, man, we really cherish these kind of experiences. So she sent me a list of places to visit. in Colorado, and one of them was St. Mary's Glacier. Man, I went up there, and it was just breathtaking. Like to see like these big lakes in the mountains, right? Like you go to the top of this mountain, and there's a lake at the top of the mountain. I was like, dang, that's beautiful, right? And then just so happened, I saw guys jumping off of cliffs into the water, into the lake. So I was like, oh man, we gotta come back. So the next time we went, we were prepared to jump off the cliff, right? To jump into the water. And yeah, man, I had to give it a try. I was scared. So you can see on Instagram, it looks like I was just bold, like I just jumped into the water, right? Like I was just having fun. But in reality, what you can't see is, bro, it took me probably an hour to build up the courage to actually jump, bro. I was out there trying to talk myself into it. I was out there like, oh, come on, you can do it. Come on. Oh, damn, I can't do it. Right? Yeah, man, I had a guy that was up there, one of the guys, he was like, man, come on, man, you can, he was like, bro, come on, man. It's just make up your mind that you're going to do it. So I was like, okay, man, if you jump in this time, I'm jumping in, right? And sure enough, bro, he jumped in, just give me that positive peer pressure. He did it, and I was like, okay, man, I gotta do it. I gave my word I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it. And I went ahead and finally built up the courage. So what you see is like the end result. What you don't see is the hour that it took me to build up the courage to jump. For sure.
Man, that's so dope, man. Just you talking about how while you were incarcerated, how you just envisioned going to these places that you never experienced, and then when you actually get out and then you in a position to experience these things, man, is I always say delayed but not denied. Delayed gratification. People take delayed gratification for granted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what was New Mexico like?
Man, New Mexico, we just brought in the new year in New Mexico, right? So it was like it was something that I had never experienced. Just wanted to go somewhere that either one of us had never been to. So went out to New Mexico, just kind of drove down there, right? It's like a 5-hour drive from Denver.
Okay.
So just drove down there and just brought in, I think that was last year. I think that was 2024. Just brought in 2024, in a place that we never been before. We were kind of on a little bit of rocky terms at the time, right? My lady and I were kind of on rocky terms at the time, and just trying to, start something fresh, start something new, put ourselves in a new environment, right? So I just kind of wanted us to kind of symbolize, like a new beginning. And yeah, man, we just went down there and found a natural hot spring, bro. This is the most craziest, amazing thing that you could ever see. So the temperature outside was like I can't remember, I think it was like 30 degrees or something, right? Temperature outside was 30 degrees. Probably colder than that, actually, bro. The temperature outside probably was like in the teens, right? It was really cold outside. It was snow outside. There was a lake that was flowing through that was really cold. But this body of water that we're sitting in is like 100 degrees, right? It's like 114 degrees. I was like, wow. I don't know how, bro, I don't know how it happens, but it's like they have like these natural hot springs out there, and the water, they call it like the lobster pot, right? And it was the water was really, really hot, but the outside temperature was really, really cold. So it was a great like dichotomy. It was a great like on this hand it's really cold, but on this hand it's really hot. And yeah, man, it was great. We met another couple that moved out there. We kind of linked with those guys, and just had a great time, man. So it was cool.
Man, right on. Traveling really broadens the mind.
It does, bro. It does. You know what? And not to cut your wisdom, bro.
Go ahead.
You just sparked a thought when you said that, right? That it really broadens the mind. Man, one of the thoughts that I had while I was incarcerated, and this was kind of life-changing, I realized that my conversation really didn't go past the north side of Duval. like the north side or the east side of Duval County, right? And yeah, I couldn't talk about much more beyond that. So I knew that I wanted to expand my experiences, and like you said, man, just broaden my mind, bro. Like just broaden my experiences, broaden my thoughts, and from traveling now, I've been able to experience so much more, and that's from people, right? That's from experiences, that's from places, that's from just everything. So absolutely, bro, it definitely broadens the mind.
And you speaking of cold weather made me actually want to go into this next topic. I saw
Okay.
you were on IG. This was probably about a couple of months ago, and you were out running. I believe you were in Colorado, and it was like
Yeah.
15 below. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I tell you what, that man is dedicated. I mean, it was it was still dark outside, but
Yeah.
you were outside going for a run, and you were still getting to it. I was like, boy, I tell you, this man is locked in right here. So, talk about that, and you just getting into becoming more disciplined with your fitness.
Man, so have you ever heard of David Goggins?
I have
Okay, David Goggins. What about Eric Thomas?
the hip hop preacher.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, E.T. the hip hop preacher. So
Mm-hmm.
those are two guys who I like to listen to a lot, right? And sometimes, man, I really try to get those guys' mind frame into my subconscious. So sometimes, bro, I go to sleep with like their videos just playing, right? So this one particular day, I went to sleep with I can't remember if it was David Goggins or Eric Thomas, but probably a mixture of both. Went to sleep with those guys just playing in my ear. And man, when I woke up that morning, I was like, man, I gotta challenge myself to do something difficult every day. Right. I gotta do something that I just hate, that just sucks every day, right? So I really hate. I'm from Florida, right? I'm from Duval County, bro. So I love that warm weather. I do not like cold weather, right? And I don't like running that much. I'm really not that. I'm really not a runner, right? So yeah, man. I just got up one morning and I was like, man, what can I do that just sucks? And it was snowing outside. The weather had been bad for like 2 days in a row, maybe 3 days in a row. And I was like, man, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna actually just go run to the front of the neighborhood, right? So yeah, man, I just put on a jacket, put on a couple layers of clothes, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just go for it. Went outside. As soon as I stepped outside, I was like, oh my God, this sucks. It is cold. Bro, it was negative 15 degrees. It was negative 15 degrees. And it was like yeah, man. I think when I first started, it was probably like 4:30 in the morning. And I just took off. I didn't even know how far I was gonna run, bro. I kind of just had in my mind, kind of vaguely, like, I'm gonna just get to the front of the neighborhood. But in reality, I didn't even have a set point. I just went, right? Started running and got to the front of the neighborhood. I was kind of exhausted. I was like, man, really what it was, I saw footsteps in the snow, and I just kept running until I didn't see any more footsteps, right? And yeah, man, by the time I got to the front of the neighborhood, I didn't see any more footsteps. I was like, yeah, this is probably far enough. Turned around and went back home. And, I definitely I knew I was going to record it, right? Because I was like, I know nobody's going to believe me if I tell them that, yeah, I went for a run this morning, right? Probably about there and back in total, probably about just under a mile, about 3/4 of a mile. And yeah, bro, my mindset was just, man, I got to do something that's difficult, right? Do what's difficult, right, to get the results. Do something that I'm trying to think exactly how he said it, man. I was listening to an Eric Thomas video, bro, and he was like, man, you just gotta master what's difficult. You know what I mean? Master doing what's difficult, bro, and you're gonna get results that nobody else has, right? So that's kind of what it was, but that was my mindset, and I just went for it. Sometimes I like to really challenge myself to to see if I can, do what nobody wants to do, right? Because I know if I'm doing what nobody wants to do, then I can get results nobody else is getting. So yeah, man, I just pushed myself to go do it. It sucked. You can see in the video, man, I got freaking ice all in my beard, ice all in my mustache. I had snot falling out my nose, bro. Man, it was not fun. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed the end result. What I really enjoyed was that mindset of me being able to see. Now I can go back and use that mindset, right? Now I can go back and tap into that. And when I'm in a situation where I gotta do something I really, really, really don't want to do, but it gotta be done, I can tap into that mindset, right? I can recall the time where, hey man, you know, you didn't want to go for that run that day when it was freaking negative 15 degrees, but you still were able to do it and it worked out, right? Even though you didn't want to do it, you still did. You found a way to do it anyway, right? So if you could do it then, you can do it now, right? So yeah, man, it's just kind of building those calluses on my mind and building that mentality for me to be able to rely on when I need to.
Yeah, and I see you being Planet Fitness, getting it in too, man. I be peeping the reels, man. You be doing
Yeah,
your pull ups and your crunches and stuff, man. So,
yeah.
what got you into that?
Man, you know what? So I recently had my first child, right? I just recently had my first child. Right.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, I had a son, right? So, and I'll be 40 this year, right? So I had my first child when I was 39. So now that, or I had my first child when I was 30, I was actually 38. He was 38 when he was, I was 38 when he was born. So just looking at it from that perspective, I'm like, damn, man, when he turns 20, I'm gonna be 58. You know what I mean? So basically, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be just about 60 when he's just about 20. So, excuse me. So I gotta keep myself in shape, man. I gotta be prepared, right? I gotta be able to still put hands on them. You know what I mean? Right? I gotta be able to let them know, boy, I still beat your ass, boy. I know I'm old, but I still got it. You know, I gotta still be able to box with them. I gotta still be able to throw the football with them. I gotta still be able to go play basketball with them. So that just kind of reinvigorated me to take my health serious again. I already like working out, but I'll fall off, right? Like I'll work out for like 3 months and I'll fall off for 3 months. And I'll work out for 6 months, then fall off for 6 months, right? So this was just something that kind of got me reinvigorated to want to maintain my health for the long term so I can, you know, enjoy life with my son. I don't want to be the guy that is encouraging my son to go be active, but I'm sitting in the background, I'm sitting in the bleachers, and I can't really participate with him. Right. So that's all. That's really what it was about, bro.
Right on. And I saw you were on a streak of days in the gym. It was like 18 in a row.
I'm still going. I'm still
Man,
going.
hey, let's go.
I'm at day 25 right now.
Man, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. I don't post it every day, right? I don't post it every day, but yeah, man. I'm gonna probably make a video later on today, bro. I'm at like day 25 right now. One of one of uh one of my guys who I kind of stay in contact with via social media, right? Via IG, uh Jelani Sharif, right? Shout out to him. He sent me a challenge a while ago about 75 hard, right? Basically, you know, just working out 75 days a week, right? Basically practicing great high level habits 75 days straight, right? Drinking like a gallon of water 75 days straight, all right? Working out 75 days straight, getting outside and doing some working out or walking 75 days straight. So reading, right? Reading a book 75 days straight. So I'm trying to uh pick that mantle back up and you know, stick with that. I fell off, you know, from the first day he sent me the challenge, right? So now I'm kind of back in it, bro, and just trying to stick with it, man. Trying to practice some really good habits, 75 days in a row. So yeah, man, right now I'm at 25 days in a row of working out and hitting it pretty hard, man. And yeah, man, I'm sticking with it.
Man, love to see it. And then another thing that I peeped is I mean, we talked about it briefly on your last episode, but just the fact that you are living off the land. You know, I live out way out in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and we always basically we ate what we killed, and
Yeah.
we also grew
Mm-hmm.
basically the food that would be on our dinner table at night. But
Mm-hmm.
you are doing it on a whole nother level, man, with the
Mm-hmm.
farming. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super interested in hearing about how the farming aspect of Joseph Johnson
Uh,
is taking off.
oh man, so that's a big testament to my cousin, Otis Everett, right? So my cousin, uh, I linked up with him when I first started visiting Colorado, right? Him and I first linked up, and he told me pretty early on, "Hey, cuz I'm about to invest in a farm, right? It's just me out here, right? And where I stay, there's not really any black people, right? Up in like North Colorado." He was like, "Man, I'm really going to be like the only black-owned farmer in all Colorado," which that's what we were thinking at the time. Coming to find out, there's another black-owned farm in South Colorado. But yeah, man, I connected with him, and he was like, "Man, this is my vision. This is kind of how I see it." And I was like, "Okay, man. That's something I can be a part of," because at the time, I was practicing more of a vegetarian diet, right? I wasn't eating any red meat, right? And for the most part, I still don't eat any red meat, right? I do eat seafood now. I'm more on the pescatarian side of things, so I would definitely eat seafood, especially being from Florida. I love my seafood,
Yeah.
but that's kind of how it started, man. It was really my cousin's vision, and I just kind of once I saw that he was serious, then I just co-opted with him, right? So I started putting in on the animals as well, kind of helping contribute to the upkeep of the farm, right? And that was how it started, right? And then I would always be like the guinea pig. So it was like, okay, well, we'll raise the animals, and I'll test out the meat, and if I can eat it and I don't get sick or anything, then we know it's all good. So that's kind of how it kind of started out, man. I started out, just I'd eat the chicken from the farm, right? We'll raise chicken, harvest them, and then you know, make a meal out of it. I'll give it a try, and I noticed that I wouldn't have any reaction to the meat that we eat off the farm, right? We even had a hog, right? I ate and I had eaten pork at this time. I had eaten pork in probably about 16 years, right? Man, I ate a piece of pork, and I had zero reaction to it.
Mm.
So that let me know that that really let me know that we were on the right page with this farming thing. So yeah, man, I don't want to take the credit for it. I mean, it is our farm, right? We all contribute to it, but it really started off as my cousin Otis's vision, right? And he was gracious enough to let me be a part of it. So yeah, now every acres is our family farm, and yeah, man, we have goats, chickens, lamb, we have turkeys, and we have uh, three cows. Three cows.
Okay, man, that's quite the arsenal of livestock right there, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. It's been a real blessing, bro. And one thing I always try to relate to people is it does not require a huge amount of space, right? We have about 3 acres, and we're able to do pretty much everything we need to do, on the space that we have, for sure. So it doesn't require a whole lot, and we're always looking for more people who want to contribute to it, right? Anybody who wants to be a part of it, we're very much welcoming anyone who wants to, just be a part of this farm life, right? Anybody who wants to maybe purchase some animals, uh, we got an area for them. We kind of we'll raise the animals for you, pretty much do mostly everything. You just gotta contribute financially. So, and if you're willing to learn about the farming, you want to learn about it, we're always open to the farm is always pretty much open, man. We got someone is always there, and we're always looking to bring, especially people from our community specifically, right?
Right.
We're always looking to bring guys in, and teach them anything we know. And yeah, man, let people get hands on with the farming. And uh we also um we use the farmland for to have, like, just little local events. I actually started out, that's why I was having my HVAC classes right up there at the farm, right? I literally sign people up, bring them out to the farm, and teach these guys HVAC skills, while the chickens and the goats and stuff are running around. So yeah, man, it's been a hell of an experience, and I always have to give major props and kudos to my cousin Otis, because it literally started out as his vision, and he was being gracious enough to let all of us be a part of it. So for sure.
Man, and I didn't even think about that. That you teaching HVAC classes at the farm, they actually get to see both sides of
Yeah,
Joseph Johnson.
yeah,
Like they see they got your iron, and you got more than one iron in the fire. I was like, yo,
yeah,
that's also something good for them to see. It was like, you
absolutely.
know what? I can get into HVAC, and I can get into agriculture as well.
Absolutely, bro. And it's therapeutic, man. It's therapeutic, bro, to get out there, man, and really get to mingle with the animals, because we'll work for a little bit, right? Get our skills sharpened up as far as the HVAC, and then we may take like a 20-minute break or so, just kind of enjoy the animals. Got the chickens running around. It's always cool for guys to catch a chicken and get the whole of chicken in their hand. Get to get out there and pet the cows. Yeah, man, it can definitely be therapeutic, bro, just to be out there in nature with the animals and kind of refresh. So absolutely, bro. We love it.
Man, and last thing I want to talk about is a fellow homie of yours who was really a driving force in you wanting to become a better person. So
Hmm.
talk about your homie Tiger Spark.
Oh man, Tiger Sparks, bro. Long live Tiger Sparks, man. That's my guy. I got a lot of love for Tiger, man. So what happened with Tiger? So to start from the beginning is while I was incarcerated, I met uh, a young guy named Turk, right? Me and Turk was really cool. We still are cool to this day. I'm extremely proud of Turk, extremely proud of the man that he's growing into, right? He was I was a GED teacher while I was incarcerated, right? So Turk was one of my students. And, like I said, we just got really cool while we were in there. So when I got out, I was still in touch with him, send him a couple bucks here and there, right? Always accept his phone call when he called me. And, so I told him, hey man, I'm out here in Colorado now, right? Just out here living, you know, and enjoying myself. So one day he called me and said, hey man, my childhood friend, Tiger, he lives in Colorado now. And man, I really want you to link up with him. You'll be a great, influence on him. You guys will be perfect to connect, right? So I said, okay, yeah, sure, bro. If he your family, he my family, right? So that's how the connection was made. Uh, Tiger lived about an hour south of where I lived, right? So he lived in Colorado Springs. I lived in Denver. So I pulled up on him, and from day one, man, we hit it off, right? And we would kick it all the time, man. I'll drive down there to Colorado Springs 2 or 3 times a week, just for us to kind of hang out, try to be a positive influence on him. He had a very similar story to my own, right? He had just got out of an incarceration situation. He just done 10 years as well, right? So it was like it was a easy transition, right? We both out here in Colorado. We both just got out of prison from doing 10 years. We both were from Duval, right? We both know Turk, right? We both on the same type of time. So it was just a natural fit for the both of us. And yeah, man, we got really close really fast. And I was trying to get him into the HVAC thing, but for one, he lived an hour south, so I didn't have a way to I didn't know any HVAC companies out there where he lived, so I couldn't get him on a job. And then being that he was so far away, I couldn't get him a job where I was working at the time because it was just too much distance. So he was more into trying to pursue a rap career, right? And he's pretty good at rapping. He already had some connections in the rap industry, right? One of his childhood friends, Lil Papa, who is signed to CMG, signed to Yo Gotti, right? Then he had another partner, Whopper with the Chop, Whopper with the Chopper. He had a very, very like super viral song, Who I Smoke. So he already had like some connections, right? So he was just trying to make his way into the music industry. I could see the talent he had, so I was always willing, kind of pay for some studio time for him, right? Pay for a couple videos for him, and man, I believed in what he was doing, right? Like I said, we built a connection really fast, but I could also tell that he just wasn't really feeling Colorado like that, right? He was ready. He was kind of anxious to get back to Jacksonville, right? He was anxious to get back to the streets in Duval, and I would encourage him as much as I could. Like, man, I know it's kind of slow out here in Colorado right now, right? I know it's not the exact environment you want, but bro, just the delayed gratification thing, right? I kept telling him, bro, just be aggressively patient. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep putting in the work out here, knowing that it's not gonna pay off immediately, but just keep putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work. Being patient. Put in the work, put in the work, put in the work. Be patient, right? Put in the work, put in the work, and then boom, it'll look like you're an overnight success, but really, you've been putting in the work all this time. And he was hearing what I was saying, but he was just anxious to get back to what was familiar to him, right? And he went back. He went back to Duval, right? He moved back to Duval, and a couple of months after he moved back, we were talking on the phone one day. He was like, "Yeah, man, I got shot last night, bro. Dude shot me in the leg, right?" So I was like, "Damn, man, like, bro, that's a sign." You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that you definitely wasn't getting shot when you was out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, bro, man, I think you should probably come back out here to Colorado, right? And let's just figure it out from out here, right? Just get in a whole new environment, man. When you out here, bro, you don't have to worry about those kind of things. You know what I mean? So he was like, yeah, man, like he was hearing me, but he wasn't quite feeling me. Right. So he then I would go down to Duval pretty frequently, right? I was going down there, every couple of months. And anytime I would go down there, I would always link up with him, right? I'll pull up right on the same block he was at, right? I just don't like to be in Duval as often because I kind of have some of the same issues he have in Duval, right? You know, we both kind of got caught up in that forever kind of beef, right? So um when I go to Duval, bro, I just go see my family, right? I'm not hanging out because one of the reasons why I wanted to get out of Duval because I know, man, I can't just be walking around the streets of Duval. If I'm gonna be in Duval, I gotta have a gun. You know what I mean? So it's no reason for me to be there, knowing that I gotta risk my freedom every time I'm there,
Yeah.
right? So, and he kind of had the same situation. So I pulled up on him one day, and he was like, I gave him a hug, and he was like, "Oh boy, you got that? You like, damn boy, what you got that on you?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I gotta have it when I'm out here." He was like, "Man, shoot, bro, it's hot out here, man. Like you can't really be out here like that, with that on you." So I was like, "Well, shoot, what you got? You don't got nothing on you?" He was like, "Nah, man, I'm from out here. Like this my neighborhood, this my area." You know what I mean? So I don't. I mean, it's close by, but I don't got it on me. So I was like, well, shoot, bro, I ain't gonna hang out too long, because that's just not my thing in Jacksonville. So that same block, bro, I only bring that up, to kind of bring home the point of what happened to him, right? That same exact block that I would pull up on him on all the time, bro. Same block that I would, you know, come see him, give him a hug, we laugh a little bit, and then I take off. But that same block is where he died at, man. You know, he was hanging on that same block, and somebody, you know, it's an unsolved murder. You know, nobody has been held accountable for his death. You know, it's you know, it is what it is in the streets, right? But apparently somebody walked up on him one night and gunned him down right on that same block, man. And he,
Wow.
yeah, bro, he died. And it always bothered me, bro, just because I always just had a thought of, man, if I just had the right words to tell him, right, if I could have just said the right words, bro, he probably would have come back today. He probably would have gave Colorado another try, right? He probably would have been able to recognize that being in Duval wasn't the right move if I just would have been able to articulate it in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it bothers me sometimes. And you know, my the people who love me always tell me, like, man, you know, every man got to be accountable for his own sins, right? Everybody got to be responsible for their own actions. So at the end of the day, regardless of whether you had the right words or not, you know, ultimately it was up to him to, you know, want to go back and be out there, right? So now, Turk, right, the guy who introduced us, right, he's from that same block, right? So now we have something to really build off of, right? And that's why I always say, man, I'm extremely proud of Turk because he could have took that, you know, that was like his best friend, you know, that was like a really close friend for him, right? So he could have took that and went left, right? He could have took that and said, damn, man, well, somebody killed my friend, so I'm gonna retaliate, right? Because he got it in him for sure, right? It's definitely in him. But rather than him going that direction, he really buckled down and was like, man, I'm not gonna be hanging out here. I'm not gonna let the same thing that took my friend, I'm not gonna succumb to the same situations. So man, he's been in welding school. He went to school for welding, and yeah, man, now he's becoming a welder. And you know, he's definitely been just showing up for his family, man. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, we both share that loss of Tiger, right? But you know, if there's a positive that could be had from it, is we all learn from it, and all of us are growing and making better decisions, you know, from the loss we had the experience with Tiger for sure. So yeah, man, long live Tiger Sparks, man. I always try to keep his music, you know, bumping, and always try to paint him in a positive light. He has 2 sons that he left behind. So I'm definitely going to make it my duty. I haven't as of yet, but I'm definitely going to make it my duty to do something for his sons, you know, just make sure that something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably open up like a custodial account, you know, probably open up a custodial account, a UTMA account or UGMA account for you know, put some stocks and stuff in there for them, man. Just so when they you know, become of age, it'll be there for those guys, and they'll know that their dad, you know, this was all off the strength of their dad, you know. So absolutely, man, definitely keep his sons in mind for sure.
Man, that's such an honorable thing of you to do, man.
For
Seriously.
sure.
And salute to you.
Yeah.
So the last well really I was going to do a 5 question segment, but since we cover so many things on this return episode, it's
Yeah.
just going to be one question. And
Okay.
that is, what's the biggest personal lesson that you learned in 2024?
Biggest personal lesson. Oh my God, bro. I can go. Oh man, this gonna be a whole nother podcast now, bro. Golly.
Hey,
Man,
let's
I
go
can go.
for a walk.
Hey, bro, I can go so many directions with that. Uh, I would say, man, probably enhance the lesson that I learned while I was incarcerated. Right. I think I learned self. right? I think that's probably the biggest lesson that I learned in 2024, right? I learned even more about myself, right? Went through some challenging times for sure, right? Went through some challenges from a relationship perspective, right? 2024 was very, very rocky, you know, as far as from a marriage perspective, right? And then I also had my son in 2024, right? So there was two completely different ends of the spectrum, right? So yeah, so even though my wife and I went through some really challenging times, we also had our first child, right? So man, really learned a lot about myself, right? As far as conflict resolution, right? I learned a lot about what I'm willing to accept and what I'm not willing to accept, right? I learned a lot about my own faults. You know what I mean? I learned a lot about, you know, my own strengths and weaknesses, man. So I would say, yeah, bro, self, man. I learned, it's probably the biggest lesson I learned in 2024, bro. You know, learned so much more about, you know, who I am as a person, for sure.
Man, and 2024 was a roller coaster for everybody, but you know what? We got through it.
Yeah, yeah, we got
We
through
made
it,
it to
bro.
the other side.
Yes, sir, and thriving.
Yes, sir. So, anything you want to plug or promote? The floor is officially yours.
Yes, sir, absolutely, absolutely, man. So, plug and promote. Well, I would like to couple things. I'll just plug and promote everything that I have going on, right?
All right.
Number one, I'll start off with the farm, right? So every acres, you can always tap in with us. We always, you know, we mostly just provide food for our family, right? We don't really sell any food, mostly just for our family. But you know, anybody who's interested in farming or supporting a black-owned farm, definitely tap in with us. You can always hit us up on IG. You can hit me directly on IG at Vision Transition, or you can hit up my cousin at King Everett. Um, so yeah, the farm, absolutely. I'd also like to make sure I plug these HVAC, everything I have regarding HVAC, right? So I have the HVAC Guide, the book, which is specifically for, specifically teaches you how the step by step how to take out a condemned air conditioning system and install a new one, right? That's really great information for anyone who you know that may be incarcerated or maybe graduating high school that doesn't quite have a blueprint or a game plan for what they're going to do next, right? It's perfect for anyone who is looking to get in just straight into the workforce rather than going to college. It's perfect for them. Also have the hands-on training, right? If you're in Colorado, then you can definitely connect with me um, via IG, Facebook, my website, visiontransition.com, IG at Vision Transition, Facebook, Joseph Johnson at Vision Transition. And yeah, man, sign up for some of these HVAC classes and yeah, learn skill hands-on. I basically bring guys through my course, teach these guys the skills they need to get started in the HVAC industry and residential installs. I'll basically turn you into an experienced helper. And then I also connect guys with some of my resources, some of the HVAC companies that I have a relationship with, and get these guys jobs, guys and gals. So if you're a woman that's looking to get into the HVAC space in Colorado, I definitely have somebody I can connect you with, you know, if you want to get into that space. I'm into workforce development in the HVAC space for sure. Then outside of that, I have a leadership and corrections conference coming up in French Lick, Indiana, April 9th and 10th. I'll be a part of a panel on day two that's really disseminating information about, you know, how to become a a better leader in the correction space, right? How to be effective in the correction space. So if you're a probation officer, or if you work with, you know, if you work with parolees, or if you work with Yeah, people who, if you work with guys or girls who are on probation, if you are a correctional officer, if you work anywhere in the correction space, right, this would be perfect for you, right? We definitely showing you how to have a legitimate impact on the people that you work with, right? Showing you how to have a legitimate impact on your clients, right? Basically giving guys the information on how to become, how to produce more results, just like myself, right? I was someone who was incarcerated, and I'm sure there were a ton of people who worked in the correction space who looked at me as probably a failure, right? Looked at me as a lost cause. But there were a few people who were able to have a positive impact on me and allowed me to flourish into the person, into the success story that I've grown to be today. So yeah, man, we're going to be just, teaching people how to replicate that. And outside of that, I always gotta push the clean team. I always gotta push the clean team. Me, my guy Antonio Smith, and my guy Calvin Burnett. We kind of make up the clean team, as well as a host of others, where we are making an impact on returning citizens. Right, we have whole programs set up where we teach. We go around the country teaching. Guys who are in the correctional facilities and about to get out, teaching these guys financial literacy, right? Teaching them personal and business credit, right? We teach these guys how to monetize their story, right? How to become a published author, and we teach these guys a hands-on HVAC training skills, right? Give them a technical skill. So if that's something that you may be interested in, if that's something, or anyone in the correction space that may have an interest in something like that, then absolutely tap in with us. You can link up with us on IG or any of our websites. Just follow Cal Burnett or on IG at All I Do Is Pen. My guy Antonio Smith at @asmith_clean, or myself at Vision Transition on IG. So yeah, man, I think that's I know that was a lot. So thank you, bro.
Absolutely, man. This is so much fun, man. We got to do this more often, man. Seriously, I always have so much fun just chopping it up with you, man, and seeing the great things that you're doing out here.
Likewise, bro. I mean, I know, I'm the guest on this one, but man, I also love to hear what you got going on too, bro. You can always, man, kick a little bit of flavor about what you got going on.
Word, I got you, man. I got you.
Yes, sir.
So, y'all, thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the podcast. You can find my YouTube channel at Danny Foxworth 843. There you can find all the videos for episodes of this podcast, as well as my baseball podcast at The Plate with Danny Foxworth, my podcast about candles entitled The Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth, and also a Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. And for Joe and myself, this has been another episode of Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. And until next time, y'all be good.
Yo.
Peace.